Hi, I'm Cameron Bonzi, and you are watching the You Were Born to Run podcast. And I am here with Tim McInerney of Georgetown University. Tim is also coached by my son, Coach Bonzi. So, Tim, thank you for coming on the podcast today.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm really excited because one of the benefits that I get is to have children that are involved in a sport that I love and that I think had a tremendous impact on forming me as a person and helping me in a lot of ways. And then being able to watch you run over your time at Georgetown, listening to your podcast, Hills and Twos, much more interesting than mine, I'm sure. But
I don't know about that. Not a lot of intellectual conversation going on our podcast.
I'm not sure there will be here, but one of the things that is very cool for me is to watch you run this indoor season. Your first race, we ran somewhere around 148.5. Second one, you actually ran 147, I think 5.6. And then last week, I think you were 147.62. But it is also the sense and thank you for sending those pictures to me
Oh,
that
no
will be
problem.
at the beginning of this, because you look so strong and fit, and the way that you run. Getting to this moment is a long ass process, right? And it's not easy. What's been the best part of this year? How have you gotten here?
I think I was talking about this with my dad yesterday, just kind of where we are now. It's been just because it's felt like it's been a very, very long process.
Yeah,
And we're talking about how there is a little bit of almost feels like vindication in it now. And I think that
yeah,
might be the good feeling. Not that um not that we're anywhere near where we want to be yet, but that there is a sign of life and that it's, I feel like it's there, that the people I'm close with at senior race and stuff, they feel like it's there too. So I think just kind of knowing that the things that I've been telling myself I can do for a long time, that I've been telling the people really close to me I will do, it's just kind of, it's been very nice to see that that's there, that's still there, and that it's not going anywhere. It's made it feel a little bit easier, if that makes sense.
I think it makes complete sense. And the images that you sent to me, because there was a picture of you as a little kid, there's pictures of you running along the way. The last one that came through is a recent one, and you're just so fit in it. Um, but that process to get to that place, I looked at a little mile split article that was from high school, right? But you talked about being stubborn and competitive. You're clearly passionate and emotional. How does that help and hurt?
Yeah, it's a tightrope. And I've fallen on either side of it many times.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'm really, really fortunate to have the people in my life that I'm really close with. They know me, they know how amped up I can get. And they also know that I don't like to be like that all the time, but there's a
sure.
certain level of that I've learned that I just need when I'm running. I had to make a lot of tough decisions in the last year or so to kind of be able to give myself the ability to have that when I race, and that wasn't there for a while, I think. Um, yeah, so I mean, it's great when I can use it, but it is a tough thing because you can't just be on all the time. You end
Yeah.
up kind of finding yourself, and I've caught myself doing that. I think towards the end of high school, I did that for a bit. Definitely did that in college for a little bit, and it's just not sustainable. I've had to learn how to kind of manage my stubbornness a little bit, and be smart with it, or try to be at least.
The stubbornness, which can also drive you, but also approaching a race. I always think, that place where you've got to be focused and you got to be intense, but you got to be in this place. How do you
Yeah.
manage getting into this calmer place? Like you're getting everything out of yourself. You get all that passion, but now you got to put it into a minute and 40, hopefully a minute and 46 seconds. Um, what's how do you do that? What are some of the processes to get there?
I definitely used to like think, especially when I was a young runner, high school, maybe even early college, that I needed to be so like I needed to get on the line fired up, and I learned pretty quickly that that is not the way to do that. I kind of mistook having that fire in the end of a race with going into a race pretty amped up. And, back then, if I was running a 5K or a 2 mile or a mile or anything, if you're out really hot and you're you're wasting all that mental energy early, it just doesn't work well. So I've had to try to kind of learn how to ground myself almost like when we're doing strides beforehand and stuff. And I even have to tone down the type of music sometimes if it's not where I need it to be. If I need to be kind of brought down a little bit. But yeah, I've really just had to focus on just like taking a deep breath and knowing that the first 400 or so is going to feel like a walk in the park. So make it feel as easy as possible, make it feel relaxed, and we don't have to turn that on until we're in the race and it needs to be turned on.
Have you changed your music over the time?
Yeah,
Have you?
it bounces around. It depends on where I am, but like I said, I'm a pretty I can get pretty wound up. So I needed to I need to be able to take my temperature on that. I maybe don't need Tupac talking about killing people if I'm already pretty
Yeah,
amped up. Maybe
right.
I need to go
Yep.
to Bruce Springsteen and just bring it down a little bit.
Yep.
And it's not classical music, but it'll still get me going. But it's a different tone, if
Bruce
that makes
Springsteen's not classical music. I mean, you're from New Jersey. I thought that was the only
not like
movie.
classical like the genre. He
I know.
is classic. Yes, he is. Yeah, yeah, I am from Bruce Springsteen country. He lives right around our area. Everyone loves the Bruce sightings at home.
Well, he's obviously an incredible person, big hero of mine too. I would listen to Bruce Springsteen when first came out to help me run. I'm not sure that it really helped me run, but it did get me psyched up. But your own looking forward, like kind of the mental side. So I think understanding ourselves physically is less complicated than understanding ourselves mentally or emotionally, but they combine. Um, have you gotten into like an easier, simpler system to get to that place? Is it meditation? Is it what gets you there? I know it's music, but
Yeah, I do. Music does help. It genuinely does. I'm lucky to live with Shay is an incredible guitarist, so that makes it a little easier
oh,
when
he
you got.
is? I didn't know
Oh
he's
yeah.
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's phenomenal. So that makes it a little easier when you got that in the background every day. But I think that has definitely been the most difficult thing for me throughout my entire running career
Yeah,
is the technical side. I'm at the point now, and especially right now, where I know as long as I do the work, I stay engaged, I focus on recovery, and I just do my really simple stuff. Physically, I'm going to be there. There's no question about it. I have the confidence in my training, and I have the confidence in, myself as an athlete. So I think once you can kind of remove that, as long as you push yourself, you're going to be there physically. You're able to focus more on the mental side.
sure.
It doesn't make it any easier. Yeah, I don't meditate per se or things like that. Like I mentioned, I'm very fortunate to have a lot of people that I'm really close with, and I think understand me pretty well as a person. So, um, that kind of tight knit group, I'm able to talk to them a lot, and I think that's kind of my version of therapy or meditation, or that's my kind of sense of grounding. And especially with my parents and my family and the people that really get me, I'm able to kind of work out some of the mental stuff. But yeah, I think I mean, as long as I am running, that's probably going to be the most difficult part of my career and of this whole thing. And it has been, I think it'll continue to be, that's a process for me, and I'm not anywhere close to figuring that one out yet. So
No, but it's a wonderful thing that, and you mentioned it in that article, and I know you usually have your mom ask a question of whoever you're interviewing. So I know you're close with your mom in that way. And obviously, I got my three kids at different stages here, and three completely different kids, but having that ability to have a family that you can reach back out to and say, hey, I need some help thinking today. It's funny. I'll tell you that, Brandon and I are extremely close, and when it's not like we're talking all the time, but when we talk, it's probably a 2-hour conversation. And it's just helping each other think, right? I think that that's how you get to this place and you figure yourself out, is having somebody patient that cares about you and that can also be honest and go, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing there, right? You might want to think about this. That's a huge benefit. But the other piece, as you go through this and as you're a senior, how does this help you in relating to new kid? You've got some new energy on the team. You got some terrific young runners. Um, does it make you more empathetic? Are you able to help them in some of that process with your experience?
I think I don't know if I've done a good job of it or not, but I think that was a big intention of mine coming into this year. And um, like coach and I, have sat down the past couple of years and kind of with our training group, I've been the old guy there the past few years.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I think kind of right now I've been trying to hammer into the guys that I'm with every day, like, you need to talk about something. Like I'm here. Whatever you think you're going through and how hard you think it is, and I'm not saying it's not hard, but I guarantee you I've probably been through it. We went through
yeah.
the same experience, same circumstances. I've been here in your program at school or whatever the example is.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
just been trying to. I think we've done a good job of kind of instilling that this year of trying to just guide the younger guys through a little bit. I know how hard it was. It wasn't an easy transition at all, and I
Yeah.
didn't handle it well. So if we can do anything to kind of make someone else's life a little easier, that might be a little younger on the team right now. We've definitely been trying to.
It does seem like, and it's always up and down. I mean, I say all the time as far as coaching is in what I've watched with my kids being coaches is your biggest piece you have to deal with is coaching through failure. People that you fail more often in this sport than you succeed, whether it's in practice or, getting injured or not hitting what you want in a race or getting beat. More often you're going to fail. And then getting yourself back on track is key. And it does seem like this team, at least in the modicum, and we'll see it through the season. But there seems to be some good energy with the middle distance people and the distance people. There's something special happening here in a lot of ways. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Definitely. I think guys are really kind of fired up. And when you see a lot of guys run well, especially on the same day and stuff like that, you get really excited. And when you see your friends running really fast, it makes
Yeah.
it a little easier to be like, hey, I can do that too. So I think guys are really excited right now. And we definitely feel the energy compared to, maybe different time periods, but it's in a really good place right now.
That 1,000 that Tenoda set the NCAA record, that wasn't the story to me. That story was everybody else in that
Yeah.
race.
5 dudes in that.
That was an incredible 1,000 meters. I mean, honestly, I love Tenoda. He seems to be an amazing young man, and it was great to watch that. But then I'm like, holy crap, that's like the greatest 1,000 meters overall of all time. I mean, really, when you have one school have all those guys sub 220, and I can't remember, I won't remember all the names. I don't know if it was, I'm not sure who it was that also broke the former school record, was right around low 220. And that's an amazing thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, you ran a fast 600 that same day, right? Didn't
Yeah, I
you?
don't know. I think I ran a fast 400 to start a 600. Um, and then, yeah, I had to ride the suffer bus for a little bit for 200 meters, but yeah, it was all right. We were getting there.
But you're an emotional guy. So like you said, you watch something like that, that's going to help you believe in yourself, right?
Oh, absolutely. We were about to leave to warm up, I think. And I remember making the guys that we were about to warm up with stay. I was like, we can wait 3 minutes to see this right now. I think it might be worth it. And then we went outside, completely different energy than we had, 3 minutes prior.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I was going to send you, um, there is on, I don't know if it was the 2016, 17, but the DMR came in third. They've come in third twice, and Brandon's been coaching them. And Spencer Brown was on the team. And I think he'd done a video, and then I took some images and put it together as a shorter video. But the funny thing was, these guys said the best part of the video was how we knew we'd done something good because Coach Ponzi was happy, basically.
Get him to smile. It's not
Yeah.
fake. No, it's not fake. If you get him to
No.
smile, if you get him to give you a hug, you ran really well. It's not faking it.
So from this point forward with you, where, what are you thinking for the next few months? What are you thinking for next week? What kind of goals do you have, and what are you trying to put yourself in the moment on?
I think I think a big reason, I can kind of look at the season so far and think that it's been going pretty well is because I've really focused on just racing. Um, I feel really confident in myself in terms of racing. I don't think there are many guys in the NCAA that like I couldn't race to right now, and not a big fan of guys going out and time trialing. More power to you if that's your style of racing. That's just not mine. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to try to take you to the line.
Yep.
So I think, the main goal is just compete to win every race I'm in the rest of the year. And then, ideally the time comes at Big East this weekend, we get to go to NCAAs for the Open 8 and be the same thing there if I can get in, and the same thing through outdoor. The goal is place as high in every race as possible. I'd obviously love to be at the trials and be racing through some 800 prelims and all that good stuff come outdoor. But I think it's just kind of focusing on one race at a time and just trying to win races.
Well, I really wish you big success. I think that 800 at Big East is going to be fast, and I think it's going to be set up well. I can't wait to, I will be hopefully at the NCAA meet to watch. And whether it's the 800 or the distance medley, I hope to see you there. And I really appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. No problem. Thank you so much. And I do hope to see you there as well. That means I did something right if
Yeah.
if that happens.
All right, man. Have a great day.
All right, you too. Thank you very much.
'Cause you were born to run, you were born to live, you were born to lead. You were born to never give up, and always, always believe. You were born to never give up, and always, always believe.